Okay, welcome today. Again, we are going to continue from where we stopped yesterday. We are talking about creating a very, very practical plan to take control of your finances in 2025. 2025 is going to be a very interesting year. Very interesting year in many respects. And then if there's anything that you need to walk into January 1, 2025 with, is a very clear plan, a very clear financial growth plan. So that's what we're going to focus on tonight. Okay, we're going to do a little exercise as we join today. Okay, we're going to do a little exercise. So we're looking at your 2025 financial freedom plan worksheet. All right. So as you join, I want you to type in the comment section something that is very unique about you that people cannot easily guess about you. All right. I can give you an example. With my own example. In 1984, while jumping from my secondary school, I had a dislocation on my left knee. So tell us something, some fun fact about you. Okay, another fun fact. Maybe, yeah, let's talk about fun fact. All right, just type one fun fact about you. One fun fact about you as you join. Tell us what country you are joining from, and then give us one fun fact about you. Okay, there's a fun fact about me. I got married on the same day as my birthday, which is 2nd December. So that's a fun fact about me. All right, so type a fun fact about you in the comment section as you are joining. Tell me where you are joining from, and then say one fun fact about you. And I'm going to read it out. Let's have fun. And then we'll dive right into the financial freedom plan for 2025. What is one fun fact about you? One fun fact about you. Everyone, tell me one fun fact about you. Tell me the country you're joining from, and one fun fact about you. All right. Okay, Tom West is joining from Abuja, Nigeria. Tom West, tell us one fun fact about you. AJ Manza, okay, Ochigbe Oleju Kate. Tell me one fun fact about you. Something if I jam you on the road, if I meet you somewhere on the road, I'll remember. And I will not forget. All right, Solomon James. I like eating what my hands can handle. That's interesting. Give us more insight into that. You know, what your hands can handle. All right, everybody. Cecilia Paulus, Folashade, Adebo Ore, Olariwaju Usman. Thank you. Adedamola Tinubu. Everybody, tell us what country you are joining from and tell me one fun fact about you. Tell me one fun fact about you. Maybe you were born along the road, or you were born in a flight, or you were born, when your mother went to the farm or something. Tell me some fun fact about you. Okay, Sarah Adjuono, welcome. Okay, Damola Tinubu is watching from Nigeria. Sanja Raphael, tell us where you're watching from. Olariwaju says, fun fact about me, drinking tea. Okay, you're a tea lover. Okay, Damola Tinubu is joining from Ibadan. Williams Egbe, thank you for joining us. Tell us one fun fact about you. Okay, Solomon. Okay, Bamfufu, that's what your hand can handle. Chilala Mngwene. Chilala, it's been a while I saw you. Chilala, I believe you're joining us from Zambia. Tell us one fun fact about you. Bode Thomas Omolara. Omolara, I think you've been with us some time ago, right? Nice to have you today. Chibo Alexander, tell me where you're joining from and give me one fun fact about you. And then you tell me, okay, my name is Chinedum Uche Emelike. Then I will remember, that guy that was born in the farm or born in the airplane. Okay. I got married on my mother-in-law's birthday. Okay, Tino, that's great. Mary Tolan, thank you. Tell me where you're joining us from and give me one fun fact about you. Okay, Tino Haingura, thank you for joining us. Tino, where are you joining us from? And what is one fact about you? Christian Ochere, Nina Chooks. Yes, what's one fun fact about you? Where are you joining us from and what's one fun fact about you? All right, so keep that coming. Now, I was having a conversation with someone just about 2 hours ago about the nature of 2025. You know, there was a tribe in ancient Israel. There was a tribe in ancient Israel that there was some reputation about them. They had a reputation. And all other tribes in ancient Israel knew them for this one thing that they had a reputation from. And what is that reputation? They say that they were people, they were a tribe that understood the times and knew what Israel ought to do. It's amazing. I think maybe some of us didn't get it. I'm going to repeat it. Okay, let me get on my computer and then bring out the worksheet. And by the way, if you haven't downloaded the worksheet, please do so. The link should be in the the link should be in the comment section. Okay, I think it is pinned. Okay, great. So this tribe called Issachar or Issachar, okay, they said there were people who understood the times and knew what the nation ought to do. Why is that significant for us today? Because you want to have a clear understanding of what 2025 looks like. Because when you have an understanding of what's going on in the world in 2025, you can now plan your finances, you can now plan even your business based on what is going on. And then when I work with business teams and I work with when I work with business leaders, business teams and organizations, you know, and then we're looking at strategy, we usually do an exercise that we call PESTEL or PEST analysis. In other words, we are trying to analyze the political, the economic, the socio-cultural, and then the technological context of that company or of that country. So if I'm working with a company in Ghana or in Sierra Leone or in Zimbabwe, we look at, or in Nigeria for that matter, so we look at the political situation, we look at the economic, we look at the socio-cultural, we look at the technological changes that are going on, so that based on those projected changes in the political environment, we are able to create a strategy. Now, pest analysis is not necessarily waterproof. It's just a way to provide a framework for planning strategy, you know, just like the children of Issachar, knowing the times and then understanding what you need to do. And then why I'm saying that is for most of the countries, and then let me talk about for many of you watching from Nigeria, now this is my own analysis and then my own opinion. Nigeria is under some kind of state capture. It's under some kind of state capture. So we have state actors who are totally disconnected, you know, from the people, who are totally disconnected from what's going on in the lives of the citizenry. They are totally disconnected. And then we have a country that is basically revolving around, you know, just a few individuals, the political actors. And if you are not one of them, you are totally excluded. So that is a very serious state capture. So, and then what do you do? How do you plan your finances in a situation where you have a political system that does not care about you? They are not there because of you. They are not interested in creating policies, to make your life better. So you really have to understand that that is the situation. That's the situation on the ground. These people are not there to look after you. They are there to look after themselves and then their families. And then they are there, all they care about is how they are going to be re-elected in 2027. There's no infrastructure and they don't care. Okay, in this place where I'm staying, we hadn't had power for 2 days. Nobody cared. Nobody. And then when they make some of their policies, they don't consult you. You don't make any input. You don't really matter in this thing. So how do you create wealth? How do you thrive in an environment, like that? How do you think big in a system that forces you to think small? So these are the bigger philosophical picture of 2025 and then planning your money. All right. So what do you think? Okay. So I would like to hear I would like to, to get some reactions to what I've just said. And then for those of you who are not in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Zambia, in different places, what is it looking like, in your own country? Are you also experiencing some kind of state capture where a few political actors have basically captured the whole country? Their word is law. They do whatever they do. Nobody holds them accountable and things like that. And so what is it looking like in your own country? So that we will be able to know exactly how to plan our 2025. All right. So I want to get some comments here. So Larry says, a system that forces you to think small. Exactly. Exactly. We live in a system that forces us to think small. What do you do when you find yourself, in a system that forces you to think small? Okay. And then for those of you, I've seen a couple of names from Fiji Islands. I've seen a couple of names from maybe Bangladesh, Philippines. What's going on over there? And then the reason I'm saying this, as a prelude to our planning session this evening, is that each of us needs to take responsibility for our finances. We cannot leave it in the hands of politicians. You cannot leave it in the hands of your religious leaders. You cannot leave it in the hands of, you can't live your financial life in the hands of politicians. And then there are even many important reasons why you can't do that, because these politicians come and go. They come and go. Some of us who are old enough in Nigeria, we've seen regime after regime. And then each time a dictator came, it looks like that was the end of the country and that we're going to be stuck. So we've had dictator after dictator. We've had people who, when they were president or head of state, it looked like that was the end of us. Many of them are dead and gone, but we're still alive. And so we have to take responsibility for our finances. Okay, let me read a couple of your comments. Yeah, Victoria Coca says, that's common in Africa. Yep. Okay, Jake says, I'm joining from Accra, Ghana. All right, welcome, Jake. Helen Rotimi, good evening. All right. Yeah, okay. Nee says, Ghana is present. Yeah, welcome, Ghana. Okay, good. All right, so let's get started with the planning worksheet. And then for those of you who missed it yesterday, I will encourage you to go back to the replay. It's in the live gallery of my video section, so it's right there. So you can go back and then watch it. And then we're going to continue from where we stopped yesterday. Seidu says, even the commoners that could have resisted the domination of few politicians have decided to join them in worsening our general pathetic situation. That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. So sometimes I wonder if it's because people have been so psychologically traumatized, you know, because our politicians seem to have a strategy that works all the time. And that strategy is keep the people poor, keep them hungry so that you can control them. Keep them poor, keep them hungry, keep them divided. That's what happens in Nigeria. Okay? And so when the politicians divide you, they are knocking the head of the Yoruba and Igbo. And then if you go online, you see they're always fighting each other. Or they take Hausa person and knock their hands, or they take Fulani, knock with a gala, or they take Muslim and knock their heads, you know, with Christians. So while we are busy divided and then killing each other for them, they are busy, you know, stealing our commonwealth. So that's something that works all the time. And they learned it from the colonial masters. Some of you who know your history may have known, you may have heard about divide and conquer. So the commoners you're talking about are divided. So they keep us divided, they keep us poor. So they create policies that make people very, very poor. Taxation policies. And then they don't create environment for small businesses to thrive. Because many of you are very, very gifted. Many of you are talented. You know what to do. But the economy has tightened this noose over your neck and made it very difficult for you to do business and to survive. And because you are in desperation, just looking for something to eat, you can't fight them. You can't fight them. Okay, I think I have another interesting comment here. Jeremiah says, good evening. Okay, please, do you have a link where someone can get access to all of your live videos from day one? Yes, we have up to almost 150 live videos. I don't know why people don't. So if you go to Facebook, if you go to my profile, look for the videos. See if you can find the live videos. For some reason, I see the live videos only when I log in on my laptop. But I see only the videos when I log in into Facebook with my phone. I'm not sure how that happens. Okay? Yeah, Nina Chuk says, yes, our politicians are causing division. Yes, they divide us. They divide us. The tribes are divided. And, you know, what we should be discussing at this time is not tribe. But they know that once they create that conflict, we will start devouring each other, eating each other up. And then they'll be stealing. You know, at Abuja, Kingsley said most people have been groomed by the EU system. The majority of the people lack the capacity to think outside the box. Unfortunately, yes. Okay. All right. So now open your financial freedom worksheet. So let me recap what we did yesterday for those of us who missed it. I'll just recap. So the financial freedom worksheet is the #1 complete wealth planning guide for 2025. I had discovered that most people continue to have the same financial experience year after year. Reason being, they've never been coached, they've never been helped, or they've never had access to how do you actually plan your finances in such a way that you can execute, in such a way that you can grow your finances year after year. And then some people hit it by luck in 1 year, and then they lose everything the next year. So instead of actually a curve that is going up in terms of your financial growth, in terms of the growth of your asset, you find some people, it goes up, then they fall flat. And there were people who were doing very, very well in 2019, doing very well financially. Then 2020, during the pandemic, They fell, and then for 4 years they've not been able to recover. And then if you're someone like that here, you know, you can say that's me. Okay, you can say that's me. So because of it, I created this session yesterday and today, and I also created a worksheet that can give you the framework to think through your finances in a way that you can accomplish your financial goals. Because it is important that we grow our asset, our finances, year after year. It should be going up, it should not be coming down. In other words, 2024 should have been better than 2023. 2025 should be better than 2024. And what happens is that because people don't have a strategic plan, they just hustle. And then they just leave themselves at the mercy of these politicians we are talking about, at the mercy of the economy. They leave themselves at the mercy of, okay, kesara sera. You know, for a lot of people, the only strategy is to find a way to jump out of their country to a different place and things like that. So that's why we are doing this. So this is a wealth planning guide. And then I have designed it in such a way that you can monitor your progress, because we are going to be doing this exercise exactly 1 year from now in 2025, in December 2025, God keeping us alive. We will do exactly the same thing. So this plan is structured in such a way that you can look back to what you said you are going to do in 2024 and then evaluate, okay, what worked, what didn't work. But right now, you know, many of us don't have a system to grow our wealth. We don't have a system to track what's working in our finances, what's not working, so that we can do more of the things working. We eliminate the things that do not work and then do more of the things that are working. So what we did yesterday, we started with the overall financial vision, because I told you that most content available in the social media deal with know-how. You will always see how to trade Forex, how to make money online, how to invest in the stock market. I even have a how-to book in the stock market, how to do this, how to succeed in digital marketing, how to. So I figured that the content that most of us are exposed to, the how-to, is like 98%. But know-how is not usually enough. You need 3 knows. You need know what, you need know why, and then you need know how. But often we only have the know how. And then I told you yesterday that if you have know how, but you don't have know what, and you don't have know why, then it's going to be very, very short-lived. So it's going to be very short-lived success. So this financial plan worksheet takes you through. It's very, very strategic. It's very strategically designed. That's why I'm saying, if you haven't downloaded it, the link is on the pinned comment for you to download it and then follow along and then do it. It takes you through the know why, it takes you through the know what, and it takes you through the know how. So because when you have that, then your chances of implementing becomes almost 100%. But a lot of people do New Year resolution. And New Year resolution is usually more of know-how. It lacks the know why, because it is the know why that provides the value and the motivation that keeps you going when life happens. Because people say, okay, I'm going to lose weight this year. They say so on January 1. By January 4, their friends invite them for one very, very amazing party, and then there's all kinds of things too. And then at the end of it, they fall within the first week, because know-how is not enough. Somebody type it in the comment section. Know-how is not enough. You also need the know why, you need the know what, and then you need the know-how. This is exactly what we did in this worksheet, because when you know what, it helps you to focus. It helps you to focus. Because when I know what I want, for instance, then it helps me to stay away from other things I don't want. All right? For instance, in my family, in my marriage, I knew what I wanted. I wanted a very peaceful home. I wanted a home where I could raise godly children. Children who were very respectful of their elders. Children who were also very, very emotionally intelligent. Children who are godly. You know, children who make choices, good choices in very difficult situations. So I knew what I wanted. And because I knew what I wanted, it guided me to the girl I chose to marry. So you see why knowing what is important. If you don't know what you want, you won't know how to pursue it. And that's why you need clarity on what you want. So, because I wanted that kind of life, there were so many girls I could have married. I dated a few, but then because I know what I wanted, as soon as I met the particular girl that gave me clarity around the things I wanted. Very wonderful girl, peaceful, she was godly, she was, you know, she shared the same values with me of purity and all that. I got married to this girl, and we have done 29 years of marriage together. Very, very peaceful, and every single day is like honeymoon. I'm not just, you know, you've been following me for a while, so you know I don't fake. I'm not faking things, and I won't say the one that is not. But when it comes to my wife, wonderful woman, and I have such a wonderful marriage. But I wouldn't have married her if I didn't know what I want. That's how I would have gone there and married a hookup person. And then every day to be headache. Because some of you don't know what you want in a woman. You marry anyhow. And then you marry her because of her looks. Then she enters your house within 3 weeks. You have started seeing hell. The same thing for the woman who doesn't know what she wants in a man. You just marry him because he's handsome like myself, has money, he's famous. You marry him. Then you enter the house. Within the first week, you realize that there are rooms that you must not enter. That room has red cloth. I'm telling you a real story. It has red cloth. And then he says, don't enter here. And then second week, he's beating you. He just slaps you. And he's like, this man. See, because you didn't know what you want. And I look at many young men. Sorry, forgive me for digressing, but I'm making a point. Forgive me for digressing into relationship, because it's all part of it. It's all part of money conversation. I see a lot of young people, young men today, they do not know what they want in a woman. They do not know what. We are talking about know what, know why, and know how. So I'm talking about know what. And I'm convincing you that if you don't know what you want, you will suffer. Because I look around and I see amazing women, amazing girls. We still have amazing Nigerian girls, amazing African girls. Very, very deeply, you know, confident in themselves, good self-image, respectful, know what they want, well-behaved women. And I'm seeing that nobody is talking to them, because you see, these ones are not the ones that go to club. They're not the ones that go and do all these things and then dance and then show us their body parts or whatever. They don't go for them. And I see them. And I'm seeing these women, 35 years, nobody is talking to them, 40 years. There's one I know right now, that if you're a good man and you want to marry, you know, but she's now in her late 40s. And I'm like, my God, how come nobody is seeing this woman? Nobody. How come nobody has seen this girl from the time she was 20? She's different. And now she's almost 50. And nobody has talked to her. But then the men leave this kind of virtuous women and girls, and then they go for the people who are, you know, showing, you know, shaking their top and shaking their buttocks. on TikTok, and you go and marry, and then when you marry, you start crying after this kind of woman I married. Before you married Uncle, didn't you know? So because you don't know what you want in a home. It's the same thing. If you don't know what you want in your financial life, if you do not have a financial vision and you don't know exactly what you want, because some people they just want to make money for the sake of money. But what exactly is financial success to you? What does financial success mean to you? Now, when you don't know what financial success means to you, number one, you won't find it. Because how can you find what you don't know? Number two, you will continue to compare yourself with other people. You will continue to compare the size of your generator with your neighbor's generator. You will continue to compare your car, your neighbor's car. And somebody will always have a better car than your own. Somebody will always have a bigger generator. Somebody will always have a fatter bank account than your own. And because you don't know what you want, you will live your life in envy. You will live your life constantly stressing yourself to be like Obi Kubana, to be like Davido, to be like, what's the other one? Kubana Chief Priest, to be like, who are all these people I see? To be like E-Money, to be like, you'll be stressing yourself unnecessarily because you've not defined what financial success means to you. Okay? I would like someone to type in the comment section, what does financial success mean to me? Everyone type it in the comment section. What does financial success mean to me? Okay, I'm actually reading your, let me see, I'm reading your chart. Somebody had advised me today to get another system. I actually have, there's my laptop here, and there's another phone here where I can read all your charts, okay, easily. All right, so Olamewaju says, financial success to me is attaining financial freedom at all levels of life. Very good. What does financial success mean to you? Okay, so that is the know what. I don't even advise anybody to start a business or to do anything, or even to look for a job, or to start talking about investing. You know, I'm all for investing. And I've told you that 2025 is the year of aggressive saving and investing. Why? Because poverty is a terrorist. Poverty is terrorist. Look at poor people. Poverty, there are people who are in the 4th generation poverty. What does that mean? Your great-grandfather was poor. Your grandfather was poor. Your father was poor. Now, he's passing the poverty to you. If it's not happening to you, look around you. You see people who are in the 3rd and 4th generation poverty, because once poverty holds a family, or they hope, he doesn't want to let it go. And that is my mission, to break generational poverty. Okay? That's my mission, to break generational poverty. So, the first thing is to know what is financial success to me, not what it is to Ogbo. What is it to you? Because I had to define it for me. After defining it, it became very easy for me to attain financial success. Now, I can tell you, I am not rich, but I can tell you I'm financially successful. Because what I defined as financial success, I've seen it. I defined my financial success to have a very, very peaceful marriage, loving marriage. I love my wife to pieces. That woman is great. You know, when I travel and I don't have to be, I mean, sometimes I literally cry. I mean, I'm filled with just great loving memories. And then how much money can buy a peaceful loving marriage like that? There are people who have billions. There are men who are billionaires, but they don't have good marriage. And they will, if you give them a chance today to say, take all this, your billions, and then have a good marriage, they will get it. So financial success for me, because what's the use? I have money and I don't have peace in my house. So I defined it. So it might not be your own definition of financial success. I define my financial success as raising godly children who make godly choices in every situation they find themselves. you know, and my children have been literally around the world, lived in different parts of the world, schooled in different parts of the world, and things like that. And I'm not there. And many times I hear stories about my children, even from other people. And they are consistently making, you know, I don't have the permission to tell you some of the stories about choices that they have made where they are. In countries tens of thousands of miles away, where I and their mother are not. So I'm financially successful. Because of what use? That's my reasoning. Of what use would it have been if I raised very useless children who are smoking weed, drinking all over the whole place, doing drugs, and then, but yet I'm a billionaire. I have $1 billion. Can you see where I'm going? That's not financial success to me. Because if I make $1 billion and I lose my children, then I'm not financially successful. Because what happens when I die, within 3 months, they will finish all those. It's happening around you. If I tell a story or something, an illustration that you personally know, just type in the comment section, say, I am witness. There are men, rich men who died, and then because their children were not very well brought up, they finished the whole thing, wasted it within months of their dying. So I said that that's what financial success means to me. Okay? I also said that financial success means that I can travel to any part of the world I want at any time without restriction. So I defined that that's what it is for me. So I can go, literally wake up tomorrow and decide I'm going to the United States. I can go. I can wake up tomorrow and decide I'm going to Germany or London. I can go. That's financial success to me. Financial success to me, I also defined I want to be able to adopt children from different continents, from different countries. Okay, we've adopted children from 2 different African countries or 3 African countries. I want to adopt children from the Philippines, from Fiji Islands, from the Caribbean, different places. Children that, you know, I call my children. So we have done that. So that's financial success to me. There are also other parts of what I defined as financial success to me that I have not achieved yet. That's why I'm doing what I want to do, because I am financially successful if I can help you become financially successful yourself. So that as I'm dying, I can point to 12 Africans. 12 Africans, 12 people from the Caribbean, 12 people from the Pacific, the 3 areas that God assigned me to, Africa, Caribbean, and the Pacific. I have no serious business with Europe or North America, but these are the places that God assigned to me in 1981, Africa, Caribbean, and the Pacific. And then, isn't it interesting that many of you from the Pacific islands are joining me, you know, following me and learning from me? It's not by accident. So that's, to me, financial success. Raising people who are billionaires, who are very rich, not just in money, rich in character, rich in values, people who will not use their money to do wrong, with whom I can also do more work in Africa, in the Caribbean, and in the Pacific. So that is not what. Define what financial success is to you. So let's do a very quick exercise on know what. All right. So what I want you to do, every one of you, complete this sentence for me. Of course, when you go back and then you do it, you can write as many sentences as possible. Like I've given you my own example. So I want you to complete this sentence, complete it in the comment section. Everyone, remember this is a coaching session. So do the exercise I'm telling you to do. Make sure you do it. Complete this sentence. I am successful when completed. I am successful when completed. So I can use one of my completions will be, I am successful when I have raised 12 billionaires from Africa, 12 billionaires from the Pacific, and 12 billionaires in the Caribbean. And then these are not billionaires in money, but billionaires in money and in character. That's how I define when I'm successful. I told my family not to say, you know, I've not celebrated my birthday, and I've told them not to do any birthday surprises to me because I don't really see anything to celebrate yet. So I'm looking forward to the next 10 years when I'll be 70 years. So I told them that when I'm 70, maybe there'll be something to celebrate. And you know, the birthday celebration will be that I have raised 12 billionaires. And then I don't know whether you, maybe one of you, one of those 12 billionaires might be, if it is you, please tell me that I am the one, I'm one of the 12, might be here. So if you're one of them, if you really believe you're one of them, just say, I am one of the 12. I'm taking note. And then I'll continue to monitor you whether you're serious. So I am successful when completed for me. So let me read a few of your... Very good. I'm getting some really beautiful responses here. Okay, so there are witnesses to what I've been talking about. Yeah, Orlando Waju, yeah, poverty is a terrorist. Absolutely. Poverty is a terrorist. He's the number one terrorist. So you can't treat it with kids' gloves. All right. Jeremiah Moon says, thank you very much for your assistance. I've just discovered that all the past lives are only accessible when using a laptop. Okay, that's correct. As I've just opened it now and can see them. Yeah, it's funny. That's what I discovered. Okay. All right. So Paris said, I am successful when I have managed my cash at hand. Very good. Duru Ebenezer says, I am successful when I have conquered myself financially. Fantastic. George Ozomena says, I am successful when I joined the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Good. I am successful if I'm able to live a balanced life. Okay. So, Bamidele, what I would like you to do, remove if. Okay, when you are doing this exercise, it's a coaching exercise, all right? It's one of the coaching exercises I actually use. People pay me to help them clarify that. So don't use I'm successful if. Use I am successful when. All right, so I'd like you to change that. So he said, I am successful when I'm able to live a balanced life, okay? Ogama, you said you're watching from Gabon. Amazing. Ogama says, I am successful when I have a peaceful home and a healthy relationship with my family. Great. Excuse me. Eberechi Moge, right, says you're one of the 12. I'm just looking for the 12 people. Okay. Folashade says, I am successful when I am financially dependent. Actually, I think you probably want to say when you're financially independent. Okay. Okay. Meduje Charles says, I'm successful when I can give my children all that is needed for the mental, physical education. Absolutely. Okay, Far Beyond says, I am successful when I am one of the 12. Okay. Emmanuel says, I'm successful when I get married to a godly wife. Stephen says, I'm successful when I can have what I want and help others and leave it to my children. Fantastic. All right. Absolutely. Now, how does it feel doing this exercise? So that is the know what part. You've got to know what. So that when you're even looking at financial freedom, you do the same exercise. I am financially free when. That's one of the know what exercises, how to define your know what. So you can say, I am financially free when such and such. And so I can say, I am financially free when my cash flow or when my dividends pay for all my living expenses. Actually, that's one of my exercises. I am financially free when my dividends pay all my living expenses. So I'm not paying for my living expenses with my capital, because that is capital cannibalization. And you see, the more you cannibalize your capital, the worse or the more you dig yourself into poverty. That's a quote. I think somebody should type it in there. Type it in there. Type it in there, okay? The more I cannibalize my capital, the more I dig myself into poverty. Because capital is the anointing for coming out of poverty. My goodness, I'm dropping some lines. I've never captured it so that I don't forget it. Capital is your anointing for coming out of poverty. Therefore, when you abuse your capital, you are amplifying your poverty. So, I am financially free when I no longer spend my capital on my living expenses and but my living expenses is taken care of by my profit from my business and dividends from my investment. Is somebody loving this? Okay, and then if you haven't pressed that love button, please go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it right now. And if you haven't also shared it, as usual, please share it. Take a moment. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Every one of you online right now, share it. And then you can use a caption, the same caption. You need to listen to this. You need to listen to this. Okay? So just type it. And then when you do that, just say in the comment section, shared. Let me know that you have shared it. Everyone, please do this. I'm going to give us 10 seconds to do that while I read your comments. Everyone, please do that. Share that and tell me that you have shared it. Just share it and then caption it. You need to listen to this, because I believe that everybody needs to listen to this. And then I want also the algorithm to make this thing available to everyone on Facebook, because the content in Facebook can be better. Most of those contents are not just helping people to come out of poverty. They make you laugh. They show you Kasongo Bonaway videos. Yeah, it makes you laugh. But then after you finish laughing, you go back home and there's no food in the house. So everybody in your network needs to watch this. And I think that when you share it, it might become available for people who are not watching with laptop, because this thing is only available to people watching with laptop. That's a live replay. Okay. Ngozi Oshunde says, I consider myself successful when my financial life is stable. Right? Okay, so that's a good what. And I like you to make it when you say that, you actually want to be a little bit more have a little bit more clarity, be a little bit more specific, because what is it about being stable? You know, when you say when financial stability, so it's still vague. Now your mind needs clarity. When your mind has clarity, it becomes very easy. Okay, thank you all. I can see shared. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so you need clarity in your mind. And so it's not enough saying when I am financially stable. What is when I'm financially stable? It's vague. Your brain does not know what that financial stable means. So you need to clarify that. So you might say, for instance, like my own example, I am financially free when my dividends take care of my living expenses. So it's measurable, it's very specific. I can tell when it happens, because as long as my capital, I'm still spending my capital, my salary, my capital in my business on living expenses, then I'm not financially free. But if you just say when I'm financially stable, it's not very clear. It's still very vague. I hope you understand that. Okay. Abbas says, I'm successful when I create a generational wealth for my family and help my friends to break through. Very good. Abdullahi says, I'm successful when I can manage my finances. Again, Abdullahi, it's vague. So you need to add clarity to that. What does it mean when you can manage your finances? Okay. So this is why we're having this coaching session, to help you. All right. I am successful. Oliseku says, I'm successful when I practice things I learn. Okay. So, I like that, but again, you also need to bring some specificity to it. Okay, so you remember the framework, the SMART framework. You know, when you are setting goals, you want to be specific. You want it to be something you can measure. You want it to be something. What is A? You want it to be something that's. I don't like that word achievable, because you don't want to set goals that you want to set goals that stretch you. All right. So R means relevant. Some people say what do they use for R? But I prefer to use relevant, okay? And then it needs to be time bound. So when you are defining your what, you want to make it that clear, okay? Now, so we just talked about know what. The next thing is know why. Know why is important. Why bother? What is the deep motive behind your wanting to make money? Behind your wanting to be financially free? You've got to capture that. So in 2012, June of 2012, by God's mysterious mercy that I don't understand, because I don't know why my life was spared. It's not because I was any better than all my friends, who died in that Dana crash, So my name was in that Dana plane that crashed. So what had happened was, we were working on a project. I and a couple of colleagues were working on a project for MTN. So if you remember that MTN project, Fame, Business Plan Competition, that's what we were doing at the time. And we had completed Lagos. We completed Port Harcourt. Some of you here might actually have, okay, no, I think most of you were quite young at the time. Now, we completed Port Harcourt and then we went to Abuja. And then we were all to fly back from Abuja on that Dana plane. So that day, I just decided, my friend Wale Adeneranye, we had our children in a school, in a particular school in Abuja. It wasn't my children's visiting day, it was Wale's children's visiting day. But I just felt, wait a minute, since I'm in Abuja, why don't I just go to see my child? The highest they can tell me is I can't see him. So I now told the guy who was in charge of protocol, I said, please move our names from this flight, Dana flight, move it to the last one to allow us go to that place, see our children in school, then we will go back with the flight in the evening. And it was the same Dana plane that was supposed to come back to Abuja and take us to Lagos. That's how they moved our names from that flight to the 7 o'clock flight or so. And then both of us, we told our colleagues, we told all of them, okay, see you in Lagos, because we're still to meet and then harmonize our plans and our reports for MTN. So we shook hands with them, 6, 7 of them, and then said, okay, we'll see you in Lagos. So by the time we finished and then seeing our children, and we're heading back to Abuja Airport, we heard the sad news that that plane crashed. And of course, I feel teary just thinking about it and talking about it right now, because those are colleagues, were some of the most brilliant Nigerians in business world. Chris Okocha, Charles Ntoko, brilliant Nigerians. I served with them in that business plan panel. I feel teary as I remember, because up to today, that thing is still like a dream to me. They all died. And I was, and I was spared, and then Wale was spared. Now, and the reason I'm telling the story is, remember we're talking about know why. That incident shook me. When I eventually flew back, before I flew back, that evening I kept saying, suppose I had died in that crash along with my friends. Suppose that was my end. What condition would I have? Was I leaving my wife and my children at the time? What condition was I leaving them? And then when I did that analysis, it was bad. It was really bad. Because I had not recovered from the failed investment I had after I left Shell. I had not recovered. Things were not just okay. We were owing rent. I didn't have emergency fund. I didn't have investment. To think that if I had died that day, my wife and children would have been pushed into the streets for not being able to, pay rent. Perhaps my children would not have been able to go to the kind of schools that I had in mind, for them to go. Thank God all my children have graduated and they went to the best schools in the world, top schools in the world. Maybe that could not have happened. So the thing now led me to think deeply. It's like God gave me a second chance to put my house in order. And if you're a man on this call listening to this, if you're a man, you really need to think deep about what happens to your family should anything happen to you, because none of us knows when we will go. I didn't know that I could have gone that evening. It would have just been the last. You would not be here. Many of you would never have heard that there's someone called Ogbo Awoke Ogbo, because this thing would not have been, so I shudder to think about the situation I would have left my wife and children in. So that was now what gave me a strong why. Since 2012, it gave me a strong why to pursue financial freedom, financial stability for my family, and then to make sure that if I should die suddenly, that my precious wife will not suffer. Because no man should live suffering for his wife and children should anything happen to him. And it's happening every day. You see people, their husbands died, and then the standard of living of the family just collapses. So you got to have a strong why. And then because I had a strong why, it has really helped me, because between 2012 and today, a lot has happened. A lot has happened in my finances and then in my family. Between that 2012 and now, I've had opportunities to work with Stanford University, like the most prestigious, if you like, job in the world, the most prestigious institution to work in the world. In fact, up till now, that experience working with Stanford University in their Stanford Seed program, the kind of people, the Stanford professors, the Stanford Seed team, my colleagues in Ghana, in East Africa, in India that I worked with, there's never been anything like it. It all happened. Now, that would never have happened if I had died in 2012. I have had opportunities to lecture in Lagos Business School, to lecture, to teach elite Nigerian business people. I've had opportunity to lecture and teach hundreds of people in the China-Europe International Business School. I have had opportunity to do what I'm doing for you right now. So sometimes in a month, 3 million, 6 million, 8 million people have consumed my content. That would never have happened if I died in 2012. So that became my strong why. And then another strong why for me, why I want to be financially well-to-do, is because of what I see in Africa. Everywhere I've gone in Africa, I go to Kenya, I see poverty. I went to Tanzania, went to, what is this beautiful island? Zanzibar. I see poverty there. I go to Ghana, incredible poverty. You Ghanaians, because, see, let's not even talk about Nigeria. I hope you know that Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. You go to Ghana, you see a few people doing well in Accra, then you go into other regions, and then you see poverty. I go to Sierra Leone, I'm weeping openly in the streets because of the poverty I see in Sierra Leone. In the midst of such abundance in Africa, poverty in Central African Republic, poverty in Chad, poverty everywhere, poverty in Nigeria, poverty in Cote d'Ivoire. I saw it. And yet, Africa is sitting on top of massive resources. So and then, in all this, Africa does not contribute up to 2.5% to global GDP. And yet, we have all the minerals. We have all the arable land. We have all the gold, the diamond, the silver, right here where I am. The quantity of lead in this place, this place where I am now, I don't want to mention where I am, some of you know, this state, and many of them are being mined by Chinese at the back door. Now, what I have discovered about poverty in Africa, like you go to Accra, go to Airport Residential, go to Cantonment, go to, you know, all those areas. Maybe a little in East Legon, but not much in East Legon. And then in Airport Residential, in Cantonment, you are seeing house rent. As of the time I lived in Ghana, you are seeing house rent of $4,000, $3,000, not a year, a month. 3,000, 4,000. And those of you from Ghana, please let me know what the rent is like now. The rent that is being paid in Airport Residential, where our office was, the rent is being paid in dollars. $3,000, $4,000. 1 month in Airport Residential. Those of you from Ghana here, confirm what I'm telling you. Now, what I now discovered, the same thing if you come to Nigeria, you go to Victoria Island, you are seeing rent of $70,000. Many of them, they peg it at $70,000, $80,000 for the year. And there's no occupancy because how many Nigerians can afford $70,000? How many Ghanaians can afford $50,000 in rent in 1 year? So what I discovered across Africa is that it is foreigners. It is foreigners living in the choicest parts of the country, eating the choicest food, shopping in the choicest places, going to the choicest vacations in our own countries. And we can't afford it. That's the level of poverty. And then I'm so annoyed, you know, when I go to Ghana, I'm using, there's some particular places I stay in Airport Residential. And I see these Oyibo people, 70-something-year-old Oyibo man with big pot belly, carrying our young beautiful 18-year-old, 22-year-old. Only God knows what they. And then that one is calling him babe. Because there's poverty in the land. So they come, by the time they spread small 500 CDs and whatever, the girls will follow them to anywhere. So my why is to change that. That's my, so can you see how compelling my why is? Why I have to be financially successful so that I can contribute to changing this. So your why is important. Know what, know why before the know-how. So from this conversation, can you see why many of us are not very, very resilient when it comes to our, our financial growth? Many of us are not patient. Many of us are not resilient. Many of us also lack clue what to do. I get the questions every day. What should I invest in? What should I? Now, because you have not defined your know what, your know why, and then you're asking questions around the know how. But many times, if you define your know what and you define your know why, your know what automatically comes. Is this helping somebody? Type something, something, okay? Let me read your comments. Okay, it's a coaching session, so I can actually hear that. Okay, Fabian said, I'm very close to where the plane crash happened. Okay, oh my God. Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, that plane crashed, okay? It was a very sad time for our country. Ifeemi, I beg your pardon, Nestor, I agree with you. Okay. All right. Okay, so now, as with that, yeah, Abbas, I agree with you. You said we need a system that creates billionaires. Exactly. And that's actually what I do. That's actually what I'm doing, because the government will not, for some reason, they will not do that for you. Because the government, the politicians want to keep you poor and hungry so that they can manipulate you. It's easier to manipulate hungry people. So they will not create systems that will make you a billionaire, but you can take the things I'm teaching you, because I'm down to earth. I'm not making this thing. It's not sounding big. And I'm very, very open with you. I'm telling you my own personal stories. And I'm not what I'm not telling you what I'm not. So you see my posts, you see me farming, you see me reading, you see me doing these things patiently, because I have a patient plan. And my patient plan is 10 years. I'm not in a hurry. And then before your very faces, you will see all these things I'm talking about manifest in my life and in your lives as you follow them. Wealth requires patience. Not all this get rich quick thing and all these things that people are pushing you into on social media. Because they finish pushing you, you see it will not work. It will not work, and then you will come back and still go the patience. Okay. God, Kechku, thank you very much. That's a very kind word. Thank you very much. All right, so now let's go to, now that we have talked about know what, know why, and know how. Let's now go to page 5 of the Financial Freedom Worksheet, 2025 Financial Freedom Worksheet. And then, if you are really serious about becoming one of the 12 billionaires, it's not going to be milk and bonvita. You've got to really work. You've got to pay attention to everything I say. And you've got to work. You've got to use your head. You've got to work. And then make sure you take this planning worksheet seriously. If you take it seriously, I'm going to tell you within 12 months, within the next 12 months, many of your stories will be extremely different. That worksheet is not a $7 thing. You might pay $7 for it, but that worksheet can do $70,000 for you next year. It's $7, but that worksheet can do $7 million for you. What is contained in that worksheet? So it's not what you paid. It's actually doing it. That's where you're going to get massive, massive results. Okay. So I hope you have it open before you. Page 5 says financial goals for the year. What do you want to achieve in the next 12 months? What do you want to achieve in the next 12 months? Okay. So type it in your financial worksheet. There's an example there. And I said it should be specific. It should be measurable. It should also be realistic. I agree. And relevant. So say this year, for example, I will target to grow my portfolio to 10 million in the stock market. Or this year, I will buy my first plot of land. Something like that, whatever resonates with you. What are your financial goals? Okay, type it in. Type it in. What's the goal you're working for? What is it you want to do this year? Maybe your goal is to be able to save money for your master's degree in Europe. Maybe your goal, whatever it is. Don't worry yet. Don't worry as of now as how you are going to achieve it. Just state the goal. Have clarity on what the goal is. So I'll give you 15 seconds to do that. So you need PDF reader to open it. It's a PDF file. It's a PDF file. So make sure you have a PDF reader to be able to open it. I can see that you said you can't open it. Or whether it's the link you're talking about. It works. Okay, number 3. Number 3, this is very important. This is where it begins to get really, really interesting. Okay? Number 3, your income strategy. So the question is, how will you earn the money to match your goals? This is the question that many people never answer. That's why they never make it financially. That's why they never make it financially. You've got to ask yourself, how will you earn the money for the goal? So let's say you said, this year, I want to buy my first plot of land. And I really want to ask everybody here to work on owning your own house. Work on owning your own house. Even if it is one room and parlor, call it your own. There's something owning a house does for you in your financial journey. There's the kind of relief it gives you psychologically, mentally. Because you see, paying rent is a lot of financial pressure, a lot of mental pressure. Does anybody relate to that? Every time it is time to pay rent, there's mental agony, mental pressure. And then if you're here and you have moved out of a rented house to your own house, you can tell us about the kind of freedom, as if some heavy weight, spiritual weight is lifted off your shoulder. So now the question is, for this your goal, let's say you want to buy land. Let's say you want to buy a car for your family. Let's say you want to start investing in the stock market, and then in your first year investing in the stock market, you want to be able to grow your portfolio to 1 million or to 5 million or to 100 million, whatever number works for you. This question is saying, what is your income strategy? How are you going to raise the money to achieve those goals? So, to meet your financial goals, you need a clear strategy for earning the money you need. This could involve a raise, a side hustle, developing new skills to increase your earning potential. And I gave examples there, like you can say, all right, this year, salary increase. But one thing about salary increase is that many times you don't have control over that. But you can. It could be investment, it could be side hustle. Okay, like in my own, one of my income strategies this year is going into palm oil production and sales, native palm oil production. I don't want to do it with machines. I want to do it the native way with hands. And then what I'm going to do when I start, I'm going to stream it so that people can see what they are eating, because there's so much poisoning of food. They put red dyes in palm oil, and people eat it, and then they are developing illnesses. Their organs are failing. So that's part of my income strategy. So I need you to brainstorm all the possible ways you are going to earn money in 2025. Okay, so type that in the comment section so that other people, we can learn from one another. I've just talked about my own palm oil production. Okay, type it. What's your income strategy? All right, Fausat said saving from your salary. Very good, very good. Very, very good. How do you plan to raise money? Okay, everyone, share. All right, it's important that you understand that it's a session, it's a coaching session, so it's not actually a lecture. So this interaction helps a lot. It helps me a lot to flow with the energy. How will you earn money to match your goals in 2025? Okay, so while we do that, go straight to number 4. There's usually a delay between when you type and then when I see it for some reason. So let's go to number 4. Number 4 is talking about income sources. Okay? Where is your money coming from? So, all the income sources, you now fit it into the table provided. All right, I see some of the comments are coming in. Some of the comments are coming in. Okay, Nina Chuk says, I would do storage business like palm oil. Okay, very, very good. It was very helpful. I did it this year. Okay. Ajirono says I will learn a high income digital skill. Very good. Steven says to start mobile money point this year. Okay, very good. Making more sales and creating new digital products, Afolabi says. Okay. Life issues, selling digital nooks. Okay, I guess you mean digital books. Okay, Som Tochuku says, I would like to be your distributor for palm oil. Yeah, so DM me and then remind me first week in February. Because we are putting together the structure, for the business right now. So I'm expecting that first week in February we should have started producing. I actually already have someone who wants to uptake up to 1,025 liter gallons, because the oil that we make in my area is very, very different. Very, very different. I can guarantee you it doesn't exist anywhere in the world, and we have a name for it, which I'm surprised. Even other states around don't know how we make that oil. Obed says forex trading. Elisha says income sources. Okay. Faustat says selling plantains. Okay. Doing rental services. Very good. Godwin Okechuku, farming, food processing, selling intellectual work aggressively. I like that, aggressively. All right. Okay. So now, very, very good. Abbas says starting an online business, learning trading in the financial market. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. That's very, very similar to mine. Okay, now I need you to go to number 4. Go to number 4, which is on page 6 of the worksheet. Now it says list all the income sources you currently have and any new ones you plan to develop. This might include your salary, your side hustles, your investments, your freelance work, or financial markets. Okay, so this one is saying, where is your income, your current income sources? Okay, how you make money right now. So you list them, put the monthly estimate there. So somebody said forex, or you said online business. That would be like the first income source there. Then how much monthly do you make? Do you currently make? So you can actually estimate. If you have the data, fantastic, you plug it in there. If you don't have the specific data, estimate how much you currently make from each of those. So we are talking about your current sources of income and how much comes from it. Because where we are getting to, where this worksheet is trying to get you to is, remember, you've set goals. And then we are trying to see, does your current income strategy, and then do your current income sources meet this goal? So you might find that your goal for 2025 might be, let me use the Nigerian naira. So it might be that your goal will require 15 million naira. But then after doing number 4, you might discover that currently you are bringing in only 4 million. So you see there's a gap of 11 million. Do you see the logic? You have a goal, and then you are saying, okay, I have a goal. What do I currently earn? And then that goal, the implication of that goal might be 15 million, but what you currently earn is 3 million. That now begins to give you an idea about what you have to do in 5. So 5 says projections from sources. Okay, this is the same thing that businesses do. How much money do you expect to earn from each source? So now you can still include your current income sources. That's the difference between number 4 and number 5. You still include your current income sources and the additional income sources you want to do in 2025. Then you now make a projection. You see, businesses will do cash flow projection. You also need to do that as an individual. How much are you projecting to get from your salary? You want to start online business in 2025. How much are you projecting? You really need to put a number there. Your brain likes it. So you can say, okay, my current salary, current income from salary is 3 million. So you put it there. Then I want to start online business. Then you say, if I start online business, or somebody said sell digital books. Let's say your digital book is 3,000 naira. And then you can sell 500 in a month. Then it becomes 3,000 times 500. How much is that? Like 150,000. So you have numbers. So that gives you some kind of realism as to what needs to happen for you to be able to make your goal. Is anybody getting this? Are you following me? Yeah, just say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes. Are you following? Are you getting it? The logic and the flow of the worksheet. You have a goal. You have current income, which does not align with that goal. Then you have projected income. And this, your projected income, should be able to cover that gap of the 15 million. Because if your goal, the implication of your goal is 15 million, but your current income is 3, then it means that there's a gap of 12 million. Therefore, your projected income, that's what makes this thing powerful, because it checks and balances it, so that you just don't have your head in the clouds. Your feet also need to touch the ground. So this, your projected income, you have to account for that balance of 12 million. So that is telling you that if you are starting online business, or you are starting forex trading, or you are starting whatever, you have to make up for that 12 million. And that becomes the basis for the next one. So now, number 6, which is page 7. Go to page 7. So now this is talking about detailed budgeting. One of the biggest financial errors that we make is not to budget. It's bad, when you don't know where your money is going. And for some of you who only have one income stream, which is salary, you know where your money is coming from, but you don't know where it's going. It's a problem. It's a problem. Have you woken up one day at the end of a month and you look back and say, where did all this money come from? Has it happened to anybody? Sorry, where did all this money go? So at the beginning of the month, they paid you, you had like 500,000. Then at the end of the month, or even third week in the month, what is in the bank is like 21,000 naira from 500,000. And then you ask, where did it all go? Has it happened to anybody? I say, where did it all go? Just say, I'm a witness if it has happened to you. The reason that happens is because many of us have not developed the discipline to have a budget. And so even if you don't have like a strict budget with the numbers and things like that, you still need to have an idea about what does my family spend on food every month? What do we spend on gas? Okay, my wife knows how much we spend on gas, and then the way she even does it, she knows how the gas goes. She knows how long. So if we buy gas today, she will say 30th December. And then she has her chart. She knows when the gas might finish after so number of months. So budgeting helps in planning and knowing where your money is going. So it's not like you just wake up one day, gas is finished, and you don't have money to buy because you didn't budget for it. Okay? So you should create a monthly budget that breaks down your expenses into categories such as housing, transportation, food, savings, and entertainment. This will help ensure that you are spending your money wisely and staying within your means. Yeah, Godwin says I'm a witness. Yeah, there are many witnesses. It also happened to me. So just said it also happened. For a start, it's not funny because it's true. It's happening. 21,000. Yeah, after 500,000, it actually happened to me. When I was working in Chevron, I used to wonder, where did my money go? Okay, and it was because I wasn't into budget. Mine was just let the money come as long as there's money. Okay, you need to buy banana and granite. Hey, buy. This person calls from the village. Oh, Mama is admitted in the hospital. You say, Who is Mama? You say is your great your aunt to your grandmother of your uncle of your niece or something. You know, because it's like once you have money, it's like all these village people that you don't even know, all of a sudden they know you, and then you become a relation. Okay, so do all that. Then number 7, very, very important part of the planning. Number 7 says, what needs to happen to achieve the goals? Now, you see how this thing is going strategically. First, you define your what and your why, your financial vision. You define the what, your financial goals. Now, do you see how we're now breaking down into the know-how? Into the know-how. But what a lot of people do is they jump straight into the know-how. So now you see, your actions now will have to align to the things that you have filled in the previous parts of the worksheet. So number 7, write down specific steps you need to take in order to achieve these goals. For instance, it could mean you need to learn new skills. It could mean that you need to cut unnecessary expenses. Listen, if you don't subscribe to Netflix for 1 year, trust me, you will not die. You will not die. But that subscription, if you can do, because that's what we call delayed gratification. That subscription, if you put it together and you invest it wisely, during the Financial Fitness Challenge, by the way, mark the date, it's 18th to 21st February. That's our next Financial Fitness Challenge. And we will start enrollment in first week in January. The enrollment is 120,000, but the early bird, which will last for 3 weeks, starting from January 1, is 100. And I will encourage you to take advantage of the early bird, because it is during the Financial Fitness Challenge that we break these things down. How to make money every single day, both in your local currency and also in USD. Every single day you need to set it up. How to set up at least 2 income streams. At least 2 income streams. One, for your living expenses, to take care of all these things you've budgeted here in number 6. And then a second one, strictly for investing in the financial markets, stock market, treasury bills, mutual funds. We will talk about all these asset classes, because I'm amazed that many people have no idea about what's going on in the financial markets. You know, I don't know how you've survived without investing, you know, in the financial markets. So we'll talk about that during the Financial Fitness Challenge, okay? Okay. In Ghana currency, Stephen, okay, yeah, I'll be mentioning cities. I think I mentioned cities, but it's been a while, so I don't know what the cities to dollar is doing right now. How much is it? How many cities now is $1? Stephen, can you type it in the comment section? I started working in Ghana when the cities, when it was 6 cities to $1. By the time I was leaving Ghana, it was already like 11 cities to $1. How much is it today, Stephen? How much is it? Tell us. Put it in the comment section. Okay. So, number 7, write down the specific steps you need to take in order to achieve your goals. This should include learning new skills, cutting unnecessary expenses, or launching a side business. Okay, let me give you an example, because if you have followed me for some time now, you know that I practice, what I'm telling you is what I practice. I'm not telling you theory. That's why what I say is very powerful, because it's coming from someone who is doing it. Okay, so in 2025, I decided I was going to, so I have done this thing I'm telling you to do. So I'm just sharing some of mine. So I decided that I'm going to revisit another aspect of the financial markets, and that is forex trading. I had done forex trading many years ago. I remember traveling to New York to one of the forex expos that they used to have in New York in those days. I was into it, but I had discovered that number one, it's not a get-rich-quick thing, and I needed to get rich at the time. And I discovered also number two, that forex trading is not something you do like the first job or the first thing that you do or the only thing that you do when you are starting out, because it's very difficult for someone who is hungry and who doesn't have a source of income, because it's very likely you are going to blow your first couple of accounts. So how do you sustain yourself when you do that? So it was difficult for me. I couldn't have done it like the only thing at the time. But now I have other things and I have other streams of income. So what I'm saying is that that's just my experience, because I know there are people who have broken through forex trading while they are doing other things. But my experience is you need to be able to sustain yourself. So you need other streams of income so that you're not depending on it alone as you're starting. So eventually it can become a big thing. But often, forex trading, before people start seeing massive success, takes like 2 years, 3 years. So it's not a get rich. So you need to have that longevity, time for learning and things like that. So part of my action plans in 2025 is to revisit forex market, because it's a huge market and it's there. So when I now listed my action plan, part of it was to buy books. So I ordered these from Amazon. Okay, 3 massive books. I went to Amazon, looked for the top 3 books on forex trading. Top 3, the best in the world. Those are the ones that had the reviews. So I bought this one from Amazon directly. So it's going to be baptized into my library. I also bought this one. I also bought this. So it's not enough just planning and writing in the worksheet. You need to take action. And I've already started devouring it. And books are amazing, because this book is teaching me a lot of things, mistakes that I'm going to avoid even starting. So it might not take me 2 years because of the information in this book, in these top 3 books I bought on forex trading. So number 7 is asking what needs to happen. So what do you need to read? What courses do you need? For you, you might actually start the year with the Financial Fitness Challenge, because that challenge is very, very thorough. Okay. That's number 7. Then number 8, disciplines needed. So you're saying, what are the habits? Because wealth is just a collection of habits that you repeat. Wealth is just habits that you repeat. Wealth is habits that you repeat. So what is that habit you're going to repeat? Every day, every month, every quarter, every year, to guarantee your wealth. So, and I have examples I gave you there. So disciplines needed: identify the habits you must develop to achieve your financial goals. This might include paying yourself first. It's a habit. So that's one of my habits. If you buy that worksheet, like some of you did, and you buy that worksheet 7,000 naira, instantly 6,000 is going straight into my investment account. Instantly. So that's one of my secrets. I keep 1,000. I keep 1,000 in my savings account, something I can spend. So, and it's a habit. I've made it a habit that what comes, no matter how small or how big, something must go into my investment account. 2 weeks ago, a client paid me just a couple of naira short of 3 million. The money landed my account. It was 2.7 million. That money landed my account like 9 a.m. By 5 minutes past 9, 1 million had left straight into my investment account out of the 2.7 million. Because it's a habit. It's a habit of mine never to consume everything I earn. I will never consume everything I earn. One of it must be saved, even if it is 1,000 naira. There have been times I bought stock worth 1,000 naira. I have bought 700 naira stock because that's what I wanted to make sure that I pay myself, no matter how small it is, from everything that comes in. Okay, so identify the habits you must develop to achieve your financial goals. So this might include paying yourself first, sticking to your budget, or avoiding impulsive spending. Who else is like me here? Impulsive spending. Especially when I travel to the US. I just feel like buying everything, you know, and I like gadgets. You know, I get into a store and I want to buy everything there and come, and it's impulsive. And then when I come back, I start regretting, why did I spend that much money, you know, buying that? So feel that in number 8. Then number 9, daily habits. Small daily habits lead to big results over time. Identify small actions you can take each day to move closer to your financial goals. All right, so that's where you have review my budget each morning. So every day, I will take 5 minutes to review my budget and expenses, so I am aware of how much I've spent and how much I have left to save. Okay, the other one is to spend time learning new skills. I will spend at least 30 minutes every day reading books or taking online courses related to personal finance, investing, and growing my business. For me, it's 1 hour every morning, reading specifically on trading the market. So I have all those examples there. Number 10, what are the skills gap that you need to fill? To earn more money, you might need to develop new skills. Identify the skills that will help you improve your income or manage your money better. Remember, I said that there are 3 core financial freedom skills. Who remembers them? Can you type them in the comment before I say them? There are 3 core financial freedom skills. Number 1, money making skills. Number 2, money managing skills. Number 3, money multiplying skills, which is talking about investment. So where do you find gaps that you need to fill in 2025? Because the more you fill your skills gap, the closer you are to achieving your financial goals. Okay? So some of the examples I have here, it might be to learn more about personal finance management. So I can say I will read books like The Richest Man in Babylon or Rich Dad Poor Dad to deepen my understanding of money management and wealth building. Investing in stocks. I will learn about the Nigerian Stock Exchange, or like one of you asked me about how you can start investing in Uganda in the stock exchange. And I said, start with the stock exchange in your country. Okay? Master the investing in stock exchange in your country. So there is Ugandan Stock Exchange, you know, USE, they call it. All right? So learn to invest in your economy, in the top performing companies in the stock market. So in the stock market, it's not price you're buying. You are buying the company. So some people just go to the stock market and then they look at the price. They say, okay, this one is cheap, and then they buy. No, you're buying the company. That's why people lose money. They go buy something that is very cheap. And then the company goes out of business, or they don't perform well, they lose all their money. Okay? So, start from Ugandan Stock Exchange. Start from the Accra Stock Exchange or Ghana Stock Exchange or something is called, okay? Start from there. Learn, and then from there you can get the apps like Bamboo and all that to invest in the American stock market that has thousands, because it can be very confusing. if you don't first master it in a way that you're comfortable with investing in the economy of your country, and then you go to pick from from the New York Stock Exchange that has thousands and thousands of companies that you don't know anything about, but you can use candlesticks when you understand what it is to trade them. So that's about the skills gap that need to be filled. Then number 11, very important. Okay, we have about 20 minutes ago. So very important, financial emergency plan. Life is unpredictable. Setbacks can happen. So it's important to have your financial emergency plan for 2025. This will help you to stay calm and focused during tough times. Life happens. Life happens. So what is a financial emergency plan? You can decide to save at least 3 months to 6 months of your monthly living expenses. You save it in a separate emergency fund. What I did for our own emergency fund, I did some financial engineering that you might find interesting too. So I don't put it in savings account. I don't put it in the bank just hanging there. I still invest it in the market because the stocks I invest in, which I can share with some of you during the Financial Fitness Challenge, the stock I invest in are very, very highly liquid. Very, very highly liquid. So if I need to raise money urgently, that emergency money, I can liquidate a part of my stock that I have used as my emergency plan. The only thing is that in the Nigerian stock market, you won't get it that day. They still run this T plus 3 days. So if you sell it on Monday, you're probably going to get that money on Thursday or so. But in my own case, I'm so blessed with relationships that I can never be in a situation where I need to raise emergency money and then I can't get it. I can't get it to bridge it until at least whatever I sell, comes. So it's important to have your emergency fund. And then what you do with this emergency fund is sometimes you can lose your job. Or maybe something happens to your business and it folds. You need that living expenses money saved for at least 6 months. That 6 months, it gives you time to think and to regroup. Because if you suddenly lose your job and that's it, then it's a problem. But if you have living expenses, the same amount of money you spend every month, if you have it for 6 months, save somewhere, then you and your family can live like nothing happened in the 6 months. And then it now allows you to regroup, to relax, to reflect without being anxious and without running out to start, I must get a job like tomorrow and all that. You take your time within 6 months. So that's why financial emergency plan is very, very important. Number 12 is called monthly check-in. Because if you don't monitor it, if you don't check in, your finance will be out of control. Because if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. You can't control what you don't measure. And some of you who are engineers, here we know. And some of you, who run engineering systems, with feedback loops and things like that, you will know that if you can't control if you can't measure something, you can't control it. And that's why you have indicators. And then these indicators will tell you, even like in your car, you have indicators, fuel indicator, temperature, engine temperature indicator, all kinds of things, tire pressure indicator, all of them. Now, those indicators, as you are monitoring them, they will allow you to know, okay, you have only a quarter tank of fuel left. This quarter tank will not take you from Lagos to Ibadan. It will not take you from Accra to Kumasi. Therefore, you adjust your plan by driving into a fueling station and then filling your tank. So that's what the monthly check-in is. So I have an example there. It says, at the end of each month, I will evaluate my financial progress by reflecting on any financial mistakes made, such as overspending, missing savings targets, and adjust my plans accordingly. So that's what you do with your monthly check-in. Don't leave it until it is November before you check what's working, what's not working in your finances. Don't leave it until November. It's too late. So you might do it monthly, you might do it weekly. Number 13, and the last one before the commitment section. Okay, you need inspiration and motivation to keep going, because now you might finish listening to me and then you are very, very highly motivated and enthusiastic. Then the next day, something happens. Something, God forbid, you lose a friend or you lose a family member, and it totally wipes out all this your happy mood and all this your inspired mood. So you need something that can keep you going, because things often don't go in a straight line. Life happens. You can start in this January, you will have a very big setback. You might by the end of the quarter, you may be expecting some money that could help your financial growth, and then March, that money doesn't come. You might lend somebody money, and then the person runs away with your money, uses your money to run abroad, and you can't get it. How do you keep yourself motivated in spite of all the ups and downs? Because financial freedom involves a lot of challenges. So, I give an example here. So I write this out and I say, I am committed to achieving my financial goals. And I remind myself of the following every day to stay motivated. So you now go back to your why. That's the secret. Always draw your inspiration or your motivation from your why. I am saving and investing aggressively now, so that in 5 years I can live without the constant stress of financial instability and have more time to spend with my family, travel the world, give to others, and live my dream. So this is also what I have in my financial, in my dream board, vision board. Remember I told you to do your vision board yesterday. When you have your vision board and then you go low, take that vision board and look at it. It will take you up again. Because your vision board is going to tell you why you are doing it, who you are doing it for. Your vision board will tell you that, and then it will strengthen you. All right, so that is number 13, the inspiration and motivation to keep going on in spite of what is happening. Now, that last page, which is page 13, I need you. In fact, I want to hold you accountable. So that's part of the benefits, okay? That's part of the fringe benefits of the worksheet. So I need you to complete that worksheet, that commitment statement. So you say I, then you put your name there, okay? For instance, I, Donald Amadi, all right? I, Kemi Magaji, okay? Or I say I, Samoria O'Hara, commit to following this financial plan with full dedication. I understand that my financial freedom is in my hands, and by making the right choices every day, I will take control of my financial future. I am committed to working hard, developing new habits, and making my financial goals a reality in 2025. I need you, all of you, complete that section and then email it to me. Okay, maybe not email it. You can send it. Let me give you the WhatsApp number to send it to. Okay, so now you've just put yourself in trouble, because I'm going to hold you accountable. Because this time next year, I'm going to bring this thing that you signed and sent to me. And actually, you can also feel free to send me the entire document signed. All right, so I'm going to hold you accountable through the year, because many times it's a blessing, when we know that someone will call us out if we're not making the right choices or achieving our goals. All right, so I'm going to give you the WhatsApp number where you can sign it and then send it to me. And for those of you who haven't filled it, you haven't downloaded it, look at the pinned comment, the very first comment. You can download it from there, fill it, send it to me. So I'm offering that free. So why I might not treat you on one-on-one basis, but I'm going to keep it. And once in a while, randomly, I'm going to select one and then contact you and ask you, like we say in Nigeria, how far with the plan. So I need you to complete it, fill it, and then send to me. Let me give you the WhatsApp number. Okay, so that WhatsApp number, I have just put it in the comment section. Okay, so save it. Save it. So once you complete your plan, sign it, send it to me. Sign the whole thing, send it to me. But if you just want to complete page 13, the commitment, sign it, send it to me there. And then my office will download it and then we'll file it. And then occasionally I'm going to pick it and then ask you what's going on. Okay. How are you progressing? What obstacles do you have? How are you overcoming the obstacles? How are you making it happen? All right. So that is the end of going through the financial freedom plan for 2025. So by now, I believe you have clarity around how you're going to grow your finances, stay out of financial struggle, stay out of conspicuous consumption, just stay out of trouble financially and thrive and have abundance, for you and your family. So that is the blueprint for abundance for 2025. Did you enjoy this? Did you find this helpful? Okay, so we have a few more minutes left, like 8 minutes left. So what I want you to do right now, every one of you is required in this coaching session. Type in the comment section and tell me, what was your aha moment today? What made your day? What is your key takeaway today? Okay. What are you working out of this place to implement? Everyone, let me know. I'll give you 30 seconds to type that. And then I'll give you more information about the Financial Fitness Challenge. Okay, you're welcome. So tell me, what was your key takeaway today? What made your day? What was fresh today? Okay, 20 more seconds. 20 more seconds. Everyone tell me. It's important for me to know, so that I keep making it better every day. Yes, Stephen, you're welcome. Glad to hear that, Rotimi. Thank you. I can see all the love. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome, Obed. Okay. How's it going in Gabon? I hope it's quiet over there, Obed. All right. So, okay. Fausat said the review of this financial freedom worksheet, fantastic, made my day. Okay, Toby said, if it is not measurable, you can't control it. Absolutely. Funke, you're welcome. Funke Bakari. Nenye says, picking up my Forex journey for a greater 2025. Fantastic. Okay. Godwin said, my capital is my anointing. Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me of that quote. Yeah. So your capital is your anointing out of poverty. But a lot of people abuse their anointing. Okay, Abbas, the power of why keeps you moving. Fantastic. Perry says, the why my financial plan is needed, the planning of emergency funds. Fantastic. Okay, good. Duru says, I must be intentional about protecting my capital because it's the anointing for your financial freedom. Fantastic. Okay. Rutimi says, having a budget and reviewing it every morning. Good. Only say, if I can't measure it, I can't control it. Absolutely. All right. Somtochuku, I have started farming. Ijoma says to remain committed to my plans. Okay. Simon says, my key takeaway today was the fact that the what, why, and how fuel the process of wealth creation. Fantastic, okay? Know how, Obed says. So just says, strategy that I can invest my money in the right direction to invest, okay? Okay, Perry says, cannibalizing, not cannibalizing capital. And then Funke says, intentionality in my finances. Uchenwa Amara says, my aha moment was when you said, my capital is your anointing for coming out of poverty. Absolutely. Fantastic. So, thank you all very much. You've been a very, very fantastic audience. I enjoy doing this, and especially my joy is when people take these ideas and they implement it. And then I need you to always come back to me, DM me, come to the comment section, tell me how your progress, tell me how you implemented these ideas and how you are getting results. Lots of you send me that. It also encourages me to keep on giving you more. So ask questions, tell me about your progress, tell me, what you're becoming as a result of being exposed, to this information every evening. So thank you all very much. And I'm wishing you all a very, very wonderful, financially fit 2025 in advance. So if we're going to do anything tomorrow, just watch my page. I'm going to give the announcement. So for the financial fitness challenge, also watch out. Watch out within the first week. The first week is just next tomorrow for the details of how you enroll, the payment, and then when you do, you actually have access to a lot of things. The moment you enroll, if you haven't bought the book on stock market and you haven't bought all those financial freedom books, they will be there waiting for you as bonuses. You will automatically get financial freedom for every busy professional, financial freedom for every youth. You will get how to invest in stock market. That's already like 20-something thousand naira. You will also get this one, the financial freedom planning worksheet for free, and one or two more things. Then something I did for some guys in Eco Hotel that they paid almost 200,000 naira for. You'll get it for free, so that if you own a business, you can use that business plan to start planning lots of other things. So don't wait until February to enroll in that financial fitness challenge. That's how you actually begin to get access to me and my work. So whatever happens, all of you have a wonderful evening, and keep showing up. Don't be discouraged. Keep showing up. You are all going to do very well. Keep showing up, because you never know what's coming your way next. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now, and good night.